lives of his crew. And I have a feeling if we don't get to it first, it's gonna cost us a whole lot more.
If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Okay? Very easy.
Hey, it's Mike with Aegis. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below and join our community of defenders. Who's seen this guy recently? This was recorded within the last 3 days. This guy crossing over into our borders seems to be making obvious threats against the citizens of this country. And now, being reported by several news organizations, we have another massive migrant caravan coming across from Mexico into the United States here shortly this month, January 2024. What do I talk about this stuff? You know, I spent a big chunk of my youth, my younger 20s, keeping things like IEDs and terrorism out of this country. And then I spent the last 14 years growing as an adult, still in that community from a civilian side and through a contracting side, again, being fed the information that we were trying to keep things like IEDs and terrorism out of our country. But now, with the state of affairs that we're sitting in, we are seeing these mass groups come across into our country through porous borders, creating a standoff between several states in the union and the federal government, almost like we have literally a rogue federal government. Okay, we have Texas being backed up by now Oklahoma, Montana, Idaho, and many other states actually joining in, saying, "Hey, we're going to help provide law enforcement officers, possibly National Guard, to help keep places like the Eagle Pass closed to keep these people from coming in." Big part of me says it's almost too little, too late. You know, since the new administration has taken over in this country, we have literally seen tens of millions of migrants come across our border into the U.S. And are they being vetted? No, not really. Okay. Are we stopping them? No. In one of my earlier videos, I even posted information saying like, hey, between 2018 and 2021, we have stopped at least 12 individuals who are known terrorists on the terrorist watch list. And those are the ones that were stopped. This is not to say the ones that have still gotten through into the country. Okay. Where this goes from here, I don't know. I'm only sitting here speculating, but having gone to many other countries where security is lax or low or even tyrannical, where you have a boot on the foot of a population, what tends to then happen, and particularly when you have a divided ideological base in a country, to attacks like IEDs and other terrorist attacks, maybe using biochemical or nuclear attacks, become much more prevalent, becomes much more likely. Okay, time spent in Iraq, what we saw, you have major political deviations there, where you have between the Kurds, the Sunni, and the Shiites, you have conflict three ways where nobody likes each other. And then they all attack or defend against, attack each other or defend against from each other. And now we have major political divides in our country too, with this migrant crisis coming across our border, which is certainly not going to do us any favors. Now, with the lining up of states against a rogue federal government, where does this go from here? Okay, I'm definitely not going to pull necessarily a Tim Pool and say like, oh, civil war, oh no. But we have never been this divided since the Civil War. As a nation. Okay, it almost seems like with this standoff, like a Fort Sumter event. And so, go back into your history textbooks, go take a look at Fort Sumter, where you had a state that was wanting to secede, take control of Fort Sumter, and declaring autonomy over that and taking it over, while the federal government coming in and saying, nope, those are our munitions and our resources, and coming to take that, which was one of the kickoff points that was just, another grain of sand that's about to break that camel's back. Just another grain in the heap that just adds up. These little tiny individual grains maybe by themselves aren't big, but as they continue to add up, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the people that are going to suffer the most from this are the citizens of the U.S. Okay, it's everybody else around you, your neighbors. Inflation's going to continue to rise, especially as you just bring in more and more people. We already have massive debt. We're insolvent as far as it goes to the debt that we have. And when you take such massive debt and overspending by a country, okay, we basically have a leaky lifeboat. Okay, so we have a leaky lifeboat and we have all these people in it. Now let's just invite more people into the lifeboat. Okay, The only place that lifeboat's going to go is to the bottom of the ocean. That's the only place it's going to go. It's not going to save anybody, and we can't help all these people. And, and a lot of these people, they may be good people. They may be people seeking asylum or trying to find a better life for themselves. But what we're seeing also is that there are individuals coming through that want to do harm to the U.S. They have grievances, and they are going to air those grievances, and possibly violently. And that is probably my biggest concern for this country, is because, again, not only are we then going to suffer economically, we're going to suffer from inflation. Your neighbors would suffer from that, but physical violence and harm is the next thing to follow with events like this. Having seen similar things play out in other countries, that it's only going to be a matter of time. And again, but this is just speculation. You don't have to take my word for it. Go do your own research, go continue to dig on this. But really, I just wanted to bring attention to this guy literally stating, hey, you're going to know who I am. And if you're smart, you'll know who I am. But many of you, and he's talking to U.S. citizens, many of you don't know who I am, and you're not smart. Okay? So with that, be that as it may, you know what? All you can really do is be prepared for these things. Prep for yourself. I'm not saying necessarily go out and be a doomsday prepper or anything like this, but you should go be prepared and be an observant individual and have situational awareness of the world that we're living in right now. And it definitely is a clown world that we're all participating in at the moment. So with that, in the end, I just want you prepared, not scared. So God bless and good night, everybody.